Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Adam McKola. This is 7 Reasons Why. And unfortunately this week, this fixture is 7 reasons why Manchester United lost and were knocked out of their 4th consecutive semi-final in cup competitions. After City knocked us out of last year's Carabao Cup, they've done the same again this year. And it's 4 semi-finals now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that has seen us knocked out and not progress to finals when we should be converting those 4 semi-finals to at least 1 or 2 trophies. This is Manchester United, for God's sake, and it was another wasted opportunity. And today we'll be looking at 7 reasons why United were knocked out against Manchester City. And as we go through them, make sure you get your thoughts in the comments below. Get your reasons in the comments below as well, and keep your thoughts coming. You can also check out the reaction to all of the games from yesterday from me, Steve, Andy Tate, all that stuff. You can go and check that out after we're done here. But let's get stuck into 7 reasons why. First up, wastefulness, particularly in the first half. United had a lot of possession in the second half, didn't do enough with it as well. But in the first half, we had so many opportunities. I wouldn't say we had loads of clear-cut chances. The only real chances I can think of is, Maguire headers, 2 of them. One of them flicked wide, one of them gone wide directly from himself. Another one, Bruno Fernandes, having 2 shots from outside at the box. Apart from that, I can't remember clear-cut opportunities. But we had so many opportunities where we should have converted them into chances, clear-cut chances. And it was the final ball, summed up just before half-time. We're breaking through. The board's just gone up. 1 minute of added time. You score here, you're definitely going in at the break 1-0 up. And Bruno gets the ball. We're attacking, I think it was like 3-on-3 or 3-on-2. Rashford's making the run to his right. And the pass is short, goes straight to a City top. And that's not what you want to see. And United were particularly wasteful in this game. Didn't do enough with the possession we have. And far too often it broke down through the thirds. And it didn't get to the final third. So first up, wastefulness. Second, tiredness in key players. Now this could have been sorted out earlier on if we gave rests to the likes of Bruno, to the likes of Rashford in certain fixtures. Because today, Bruno and Rashford just weren't at the races. They weren't at the races at all. Rashford's running, constantly caught offside when he should have been holding his run. You think of the time we scored when it was given offside. Rashford, it was clear he was going to get there. You're quick enough. You're quicker than most defenders on the pitch. Hold your run a little bit. He makes his run too early. He's offside. United score. It's ruled out. Key players were tired. And the Bruno one's more of a head scratcher because we've got someone like Donny van der Beek on the bench. Now you can say, look, we can't afford to be without Bruno. But today, he was massively wasteful. Donny van der Beek in certain positions with his freshness and his willingness to impress. Maybe he does something different. Now, of course, most of us would have started Bruno Fernandes today. But failing to rest him earlier on in the season is taking its toll. He needs to be out of that game against Watford. So we wrap him up for Burnley and Liverpool. That's for sure. In at number 3, and this is something that's plagued Manchester United for a while. And it's sloppiness at set pieces. We're very sloppy, and we conceded from 2 set pieces. Normally, if you're losing against Manchester City, you expect it to be glorious passing movement. You look at the first goal, set piece conceded yet again. It goes across about 6 Manchester United players, but the responsibility has to fall on the likes of Lindelof, Maguire, the defenders in the box. Maguire maybe could have cleared it. Shaw maybe could have got across his man and made sure he didn't get there. None of them dealt with it. None of the United players, before the ball gets to them, dealt with it. And City score, John Stones from a set piece. The second one, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's clearance, not good enough, straight to Fernandinho. Now, you're probably not expecting Fernandinho to twat it straight back at Dean Henderson and into the back of the net, but that's exactly what he did. And we were poor from set pieces, and you don't expect to lose games against Manchester City on set pieces, and that's exactly what happened. And we've seen that far too often. Far too often we're sloppy on set pieces. It needs to be sorted out. And that's disappointing, actually, because I thought a lot of people have been talking about Bailly should have started. And I agree Bailly should be starting for us, preferably. But I can understand why he was left out a little bit with his injury record. And you kind of want to take your time with him and not rush things with him too quickly. I don't think Lindelof was particularly bad. I don't think Maguire was particularly bad. But those set pieces cost us. In at number 4, poor substitutions. They either came too late. I thought it was daft to bring on Donny van der Beek with a couple. Why would a couple of minutes left you bringing on Donny van der Beek now? He's not some 16-year-old making his debut in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. And I just thought, with the way so many players were performing, Bruno wasn't having his best game. Pogba, Rashford, Martial, even, further deeper if you're bringing on Donny for someone and going even more attacking, Fred and McTominay. None of these players were playing well. Bring on Donny van der Beek earlier on. It didn't make sense, and generally the substitutions weren't good enough. Alex Telles is there. Bring him on. Didn't bring him on. Not good enough. In at number 5, we didn't really create anything. And I said the first one was wasteful with the chances we had. When you think about clear-cut chances for Manchester United, what other chances pop up into your mind? Nothing. There was many Neely moments. Players running into the box. Rashford, Martial, Greenwood running into the box, but not making the right decision as they got there. Many opportunities where we could have maybe created something, but the final pass was poor. Didn't quite do enough. And I thought there was so many moments, especially in the first half, where I thought we had a good first half. I actually thought Pogba, Martial, Bruno, Rashford, their press was quite good. We were winning the ball back at times. We were having even though City had most of the possession, I didn't think the first half was particularly bad. But if we're just not creating enough, we need to create more. In at number 6, an over-reliance on that man, Bruno Fernandes, yet again. Now, some might say, well, we've got a perfect, option on the bench that could come in and mean that you don't have to rely on him, But we're relying on Bruno far too much to deliver. And when Bruno didn't deliver, no one else stepped up today. And that's not good enough. You've got the likes of, Martial on the pitch, Rashford on the pitch, who's, to be fair to Rashford, has delivered recently. Pogba on the pitch, McTominay, Fred. Step up with a performance, put something in. And I know, Martial can say, well, I did well I won the last game for us against Everton, goal and assist when I come on. You got to do it consistently. Week in, week out. Bruno has been, to be fair to him, last 3-4 games I don't think he's particularly been good. But we can't just rely on Bruno every time. In at number 7, I've already alluded to the fact it was an off day for far too many. And like I said, I don't think the first half was bad. Going in at 0-0. Could have been done better with a few moments. It wasn't too bad. Second half wasn't good enough. And you want to see more from Martial, for example. I particularly feel like in the first half, and when the space in behind, I think that's when he's at his best. And I don't think there was a chance that we created. Like, against Leeds where he misses some sitters. I thought he played well against Leeds, but he misses some sitters. Like, we didn't have those chances today. But when his back's to the ball, he'll hold the ball up well like he did in the first half. Win free kicks, win throw-ins, win fouls, etc. Bring others into play. But in the second half, when the two like City got their goal and then sat back a bit. Now, you look at a Cavani, for example. Now, look, strikers are different. Strikers are a lot different. I think Martial can bring others into play a little bit better. But when you look at Cavani's movement, when defences are deep and there's 2 blocks, he's constantly moving. Now, Martial, he'll be looking for the perfect pass. The perfect pass often isn't going to come, especially when the likes of Bruno, Pogba, Rashford, it ain't coming from him. Now, like I said earlier, I don't think we create enough. But you've got to try and make something happen. Force something to happen. Create your own little bit of luck. Rashford today. Hold your line. Stop running so early. You know what I mean? Pogba. First half, not bad at all. Second half, where were you? Bruno. Come on, man, Bruno. Too many players had an off day today. Fred, McTominay, we don't speak about them much because they're in the team to just do the dirty bits. But realistically, if we had an out-and-out defensive midfielder, a destroyer, that would just receive the ball, get the ball, pass it on to we could play 2-8s, a 4-3-3, and we're a little bit more forward thinking. We've got a little bit more to link things up. At the moment, we have to go with Fred and McTominay. I don't think they had the best of games. Distribution wasn't great. But they're in the team to do the dirty work, and they did that. But we need more going forward from them. That's for sure. And when we get that, if Matic was 5-10 years younger, you've got your perfect option there. But when you get that DM, we can maybe be a little bit freer in terms of playing 2-8s instead of the 1. But yeah, too many players had an off day. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. And like I said, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think it is disappointing. It's frustrating. It's annoying. But the performance itself wasn't that bad. We were undone by 2 set pieces. And on another day, I think Bruno, his passes are on. Rashford holds his United goal through. So it's frustrating. It's a 4th semi-final we're knocked out of. But I don't think it was the end of the world at all. And there's still a lot to be positive about for United fans. But a reality check maybe for the players. Anyway, get your thoughts in. We'll see you in a bit.